The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakub, has stated that despite the challenges faced, the February-March election will hold as earlier planned. Nigeria has been grappling with its own insecurity for many years, and this has remained a significant concern for all election managers and citizens as the election approaches. Banditry, terrorism, either farmer conflicts, the threat of renewing the insurgents by demanding a large share of petroleum revenue, lingering agitation by IPOB, kidnapping and courtesan are concerns raised by the Commission that could complicate elections, particularly when they are directed at the electoral process and participation. Apart from working in collaboration with security agencies, Yakubu stated that the Commission is working with other stakeholders to establish mechanisms to understand, track, and mitigate security challenges.
The implication of the attacks is that we have to rebuild facilities and replace materials. And the Commission and the security agencies have increased their presence in some of these locations. The last attack actually happened on Sunday last week, but because of the cooperation between the military and the Electoral Commission, we were able to respond, and the damage was limited to just a section of the building in a local government office. The Commission has repeatedly called for concerted efforts to control and check these attacks. And in December last year, the National Assembly held a public hearing on these attacks, and we hope that authorities have these attacks under control and the response by the security agencies more coordinated. But in spite of these attacks, we'll rebuild facilities, we'll replace damaged or lost items. The election will continue.
Mahmood made his statement during an address at Chatham House, London on Tuesday. He was scheduled to speak on preparation and priorities for ensuring electoral integrity and inclusivity in the forthcoming election. When asked if the Commission will conduct an election in areas with active terrorism and the fate of the internally displaced persons, the Chief Electoral Officer said,
"In areas of insecurity and people are displaced, you can't say you are going to conduct elections in areas of displacement because the citizens are displaced." But consistently since 2015, the Commission has had a policy and framework for voting by internally displaced persons. If they are organized in camps, in internally displaced persons camps, we can recreate the polling units and enable them vote. It was done in 2015, we did it in 2019, and only recently we convened stakeholders meeting to validate the revised framework and policy for voting by internally displaced persons. The difficulty we face is with those who are not living in displaced people's camps, but are living with relations in safer communities. It becomes really very difficult to reach out and organize elections for them. We have over 2 million persons in displaced camps in Nigeria across a number of states, and we'll organize elections for them the same way as we did in 2015, 2019, and we'll do so in 2023, provided they're in camps that are organized and we can reach out and recreate those polling units to enable them.
Regarding diaspora voting, Yakubu stated that even though the Commission subscribes to it, Nigerian law has made it impossible for Nigerians in the diaspora to vote in the upcoming elections.
We maintain an open door policy for them. We had a series of meetings and we are all excited. At a point we even started collaborating with the Nigeria in Diaspora Agency headed by, I think, Mrs. Abike Dabiri. And we had a series of engagements. And the proposal went to the National Assembly. But at the National Assembly, the proposed proposition was defeated. So the position of law remains that unless you are a resident in Nigeria, you cannot register and you cannot vote. But I'm absolutely convinced that it's only a matter of time when this will be achieved. Voting by those in the diaspora, as far as we are concerned, should be a settled issue. And if you ask me whether I support it or not, I will tell you that you are preaching to the converted. But the Commission doesn't have the power to make it happen. The enabling law will have to be provided